What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sirr Love from Phase 6. Here's another snippet from Chasing Greatness. It's your guy Sirr Love, and I'm super excited to give you another episode of Chasing Greatness right here live. You know how we do it. It's not necessarily live just yet, but you know how we do it. I reach out and call the people that have sent text messages in with questions. They have sent their text messages in to 404-442-4792, and in response, I am randomly giving you a call. You don't know when to expect it. Could be 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, 1 week later, the same day. But what will happen is I may give you a call and get you on the podcast show to talk about your situation live, and that's what's getting ready to happen on today's episode of Chasing Greatness. Super excited to be here. Today, I'm reaching out to Samuel Shell, and this individual is located in Bear, what is this, D.E., what's that, Delaware, right? So we're reaching out to this individual. We're getting ready to have a conversation. He had a question. He said, "I'm an old friend of his." What's going on? What did you ask? He asked me if I'm Troy Carter's nephew. Troy Carter. I don't know if he's Troy Carter or Troy Taylor, but Troy, because I'm doing a lot of work with Troy Taylor right now. But Troy Carter, no, I am not Troy Carter's nephew. That would be dope. Troy Carter's doing a lot of dope stuff. If I was his nephew, I would definitely be doing more. I'm an old friend of his from Philly, and when you brought him up in the video, I was like, is that his nephew? I knew when he was little. How are artists making money now with no touring? So obviously you're talking about COVID. Obviously you're trying to figure out how things are going with no touring. Let's have the conversation. I'm having good vibes this evening. I'm sitting here with my flavors, and I got a hookah this time. I'm enjoying the vibes. It's a dope afternoon, evening. It's about 10 o'clock, and I'm about to go ahead and give my man a call and see what's getting ready to happen. So let's give him a call and see if he wants to have the conversation. Here we go. Hello, man. I speak to Samuel.
Speaking.
Samuel, what's going on? How you feeling?
What's good with you, sir?
I'm cool, man. This is Sirr Love. Obviously, I think you already know that. How you feeling?
Absolutely. I'm doing good. I ain't got no complaint. None whatsoever.
Perfect. Well, let me introduce you to what's going on. So I started a new thing, and you're going to be one of the first people on this new thing. But I started a podcast where I'm just randomly calling people that have reached out and just having conversations. And I know you reached out 3 weeks ago, so you might be like, man, this dude forgot about me. But nah, man, I saw your message. You asked me if I was Troy Carter's nephew, and I was like, Troy Carter? I mean, that would be dope. Right. But nah, man, I got you. You're on the show now, so we're not live, but it's being recorded, and I'm just giving like free sessions in the midst of this and recording it live so other people can learn as well. And we're just having good conversations. So
absolutely. So my current situation is I just acquired an artist, and in fact, he was introduced to me by an individual that's in prison, who's his brother, and his brother told him he needed to call me because that's what I used to do, is manage artists. But I had got out of the game. Actually, I was in the game with Troy Carter. That's why I asked you. Troy and I had started out when he was in a group with Will Smith all the way back in the day. Will Smith used to be his manager, and he had two dancers, Ant and Jazz. So we go way back, way back.
Wow.
Wow. And he actually started managing after I started managing. He kept going. I quit because I didn't like the shadiness of the music business. So, long story short, he got Eve, and then, it just went, he skyrocketed from there.
Went crazy from there.
Last time I saw him, I was in his Beverly Hills office in 2007, and that was a while ago. So that was the last time I saw him personally. The time after that I saw him was when I was watching what they call the Golden State Warriors game, And I saw him on the, courtside seat sitting there. And I'm calling everybody like, yo, look at little Troy on the jump. But anyway, so I'm in a position now where I have an artist he's only 21 years old. He's been doing it since like 2005. He has 2 projects that are, from around that time frame, I think like 2005, 2008. And now I'm working on a new project with him that'll be his self-entitled album. And I know everything is virtual now, but it's real hard because I don't have the connects I used to have. I used to be able to plug people in easily because I used to be over Jazzy Jeff's house every day. I used to be backstage at the Powerhouse all the time. All of those privileges I used to have because I stepped aside, and I'm not going to say I burnt that bridge of relationships, but I left those relationships in the past.
Right.
So now
times have changed now.
Absolutely. So now I need to get back in the game because I have somebody who I wouldn't get back in the game at all because, it's sour to me, but I wouldn't get it back in the game at all unless I had somebody that I thought was really solid. And I really believe in this young man. I think this young man has got something special. He's writing his own stuff. He got a couple of producers helping him. But at the same time, his music is amazing. And it's what we need right now. I need him to do it for the culture. So I just need a little bit of help. I need to talk to the person that know the person, and give them the vision of who my artist is and watch them become a believer and literally put my man in a better situation that he's in right now. That's what I need.
So let's talk about it. First off, super commend you for that history lesson right there. A lot of people don't even know who used to run together back in the day and how all these things connect. Last time I saw Troy at the Spotify event at the Gathering spot in Atlanta. 2020 now? That was last year, 2019. I think that was last year.
19, yeah.
It was 19.
Right.
And asked him a couple questions, chatted up with him. We talked about radio and how he feels that Spotify is displacing radio and different things of that nature. And it was cool vibes.
Right.
But in reference to how things move now, so you come from like the real game, like back when, even though it's always been snakish, as you know. I've seen my share of snakes and sharks and all the piranha and whatever, but when it comes down to today, the game is completely different. It's an artist-driven economy, and the executives don't have the power they used to have. The time period that you're talking about was a period in which it was all about making someone believe. If someone can believe the vision, it was like we had a secret, especially in hip-hop culture. Hip-hop culture was new. You're talking about the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, going into the 2000s. Hip-hop was getting ready to become what it is today. And a lot of people still didn't have faith in the culture. They didn't understand what it was getting ready to be. And there were a few people that understood the power of hip-hop that were able to wheel and deal and create situations, right? And it was almost magical. It was like, look, we made this multi-platinum selling artist because the powers that be didn't understand what was happening in the underground. Now it's not the case. Hip hop is the number one genre in the world, number one genre, period. Afrobeats is going to take it over, but as of right now, hip hop is still the shit. So when it comes to that, it's no longer a space of, hey, this is the next new thing. Everyone has signed that type of A&R that has the eye for the next new thing. There's no such thing as a next new thing because we are the thing. Hip hop is the thing. It is everything. So therefore, in today's economy, it's really about your numbers, your stats. What have you accomplished so far? You're talking about that time period back in the day with Eve and all those. Even before that, you're talking about Will Smith. You're talking about analog recording. You're talking about DAT machines. You're talking about engineers that used to have nicknames like Scissor Fingers and used to cut the tape up and wrap it up. Like it was a certain type of energy to that. To own a studio back then, you had to have hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and people recording in multi-million-dollar facilities. Now, cats are recording on their laptops and going straight to market with aggregators like DistroKid and TuneCore. So the whole system has changed. So the idea of having a plug that's going to walk you in, it's going to change everyone's career, like, to being honest, like that mindset is kind of dead. You can't move like that in today's system. Today is about showing your numbers, showing your business acumen, and showing how if I give you an investment, the labels are strictly alone in the loan business, right? If I give you an investment, how can you flip it? In the past, the labels gave the investment to the executive, someone like Diddy, someone like Master P, someone like Baby, right? Someone like, you know, name can go on and on and on and on. We go on and on down that list of people that had, you know, power like that. Like even like cats that weren't super known, like super known. Yo Gotti's still super known, but like, you know, players in the game. They gave the investments to them, and they kicked the game a certain type of way to everyone else. Now the game is getting kicked to everyone the same way. So at the end of the day, what can you do is what they're looking at from a business perspective. No one cares about an artist's potential. They care about what the artist is doing right now. If I give you X amount of dollars right now, what is my return on investment? How long is it going to take me to get it back? What will your numbers look like through streaming? Can I put you in the 360? What is your value outside of just numbers? And so that's the truth of the game. So no matter how talented this kid is, somebody has to invest in this kid. This kid has to invest in himself. This kid has to have crazy hard work ethic. He has to put in a lot of hard work, and he has to go out there and earn a slot. So what you should be doing right now, if you really believe in this kid, is empowering him either by taking him on and helping him with the business, which is completely different from that time period, or, you know, educating him on where he needs to go to find the knowledge that he needs. Because right now we want to know, you're trying to walk him into a deal. Is his streaming numbers in the millions, right? First off, period. Is his streaming numbers in the millions? What are you doing on the road? How much merch are you selling? If I invest in you, how much can I get back is what we're trying to ask. You know, you know, labels and even sub labels and all those, they're not investing like they used to. You have a bunch of hustlers out here that are like, yo, I'll sign your act and I'll put them under a 360, and if it pop, then I'll invest. But if it don't pop, I just gonna have him sign. He gonna sit on the shelf. You got that energy, which is crazy. So this kid sparked your interest, got you inspired, and the only way to bring this kid to market is you have to bring this kid to market. And the beauty is you don't have to capture the whole market. Only thing you got to capture is a subset of the market. You can generate 1 million streams a month from like 100,000 people. 100,000 people listen to your album one time. You got 1 million streams if you got 10 songs on it. Right. So like at this point, you trying to get fans. You need to be working on generating fans for the artist, tracking your success. How did you do it? What blogs did you attack? What playlists did you attack? How much money did you spend on your investments? That way you can recoup it afterward. All those type of things. It's definitely a business play from your perspective right now, and from the artist's perspective, it's about being as authentic as possible and getting people to believe in whatever message this artist is spewing, and, you know, connecting to whatever energy is out there, because there's always energy. When, you know, we talking back in the 90s, you gotta use references that are from that time period. When Big came out, it was like, yo, California, you know, Cali got this shit on lock, but Big bringing it back. You know, he's the person bringing it back for the city. That was the message. Like, and people were looking for that message. And Brooklyn was like, yeah, we need that. And that was the energy. He got the whole city behind him. And by the city, I don't mean New York. I mean, he got the borough behind him, and the borough drove the next deal. And then Diddy jumped on that. So let me take it to Howard. Let me push it. Right. So like in this situation, and that happened, that same story can be told for every artist that popped, even today, except for the silos of artists that people believe in and invest in. They put major capital in. Your Chris Browns, you know, even your Lil Babies. Lil Baby was able to generate a crazy street following real quick because he was real. He was in the streets. He already had a name and a brand in the streets. And you know, Coach K and all those, Coach K and P put some cash behind him, really made his name pop. And since he was authentic, people related to it, because in Atlanta, in the South, people were looking for something authentic that represented the trends that were going on at the time versus the trends that had, you know, past tense. You know, Atlanta was coming off of the dance music vibe and transitioning into well, not even dance music, but they were coming off of the 2 Chainz was hot, Future was hot, Young Thug was hot. You were coming from that vibe, and Thug just gave you another dose of reality. Not Thug, Baby gave you another dose of reality in a new way with the new flow that everybody wasn't on. That was kind of a piece of what Migos was doing and whatnot. So it's like, does the market want what you have, right? And I know I'm saying a lot, but I'm saying all this to give you context and what you got to do. If you really want this kid to pop, and you know way more than him, you feel you know way more than him, you need to update yourself on how the game has changed, and you need to go ahead and strap up and get back in.
Right. Beautiful. I'm down here writing notes.
So, you know, like, do you have any projects out right now?
Yeah. He's all over Spotify. He's on YouTube. Got YouTube videos. He's on Apple Music.
What's his name?
Najee Dewan. NajeeDuwon. Najee Dewan.
God damn, my shit freezing. Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
For one reason or another, my Spotify is locked up. So I ain't gonna check it out right now, but I'm gonna check it out. Najee Dewan. Let me write the name down.
Najee Dewan.
Let me write the name down. What is his numbers right now?
They're not as good as I like them to be.
What, under 10,000, 5,000, under 1,000? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Under 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta work the numbers. You gotta work the numbers. There's a lot of ways to do it. It's honestly grit and work ethic right now. Like, honestly, bro, like the way the market is set up right now, me, myself, right? I'm not a rapper. I used to flow back in the day. I know if I pick it up, I'll be kind of nice. But if I wanted to, if I made a song right now and then apply my work ethic to it and committed to it, you know, I can get to 100,000 plays within a year. Guaranteed. Right? It's work ethic. It's reaching out to the right platforms, putting the right things together, the right messaging, da-da-da. It's about work, you know? And if I wanted to put real cash behind it, I could hit a mill. It's just knowing the game and knowing what you're trying to do. So for you, you got to determine, you know, how you want to invest financially, how you want to invest time-wise, how committed you are to the project. And it's just about putting in work. In the past, you know, the work was, let me show you that this cat is talented, which is listen to his flows, listen to his bars, listen to, you know, it was all about the craft. It ain't about the craft no more, man. It's about, do people believe?
Right.
Do the people believe? It doesn't fucking matter if he has skills, because the people don't care about skills like they used to. The new generation is the new generation of hip hoppers are not thinking like the 90s generation of hip hoppers. 90s generation hip hop, it was all about talent and evolution of hip hop. Hip hop has already evolved. You know, it's less about your talent, because everybody got talent. Now it's about, you know, your influence. Influence is more important than talent. Can he influence people? Is he a leader? Does he drive people to follow? Is his message the type of message that makes people say, you know, I really want to be behind you. I support you. What can I do to be a part of what you're doing? As an individual, that comes from him being connected to his audience. How connected is he? Right? This is what you should be asking right now. And you should be driving messaging around that. And you should be it's really organic guerrilla marketing. It's just happening online instead of physically in the streets, but it's still guerrilla marketing. It's still rock with me. Believe in my message. Believe what I'm talking about. See me out here. I'm working. You know, I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for whatever I'm doing this for. Like, I'm doing this for the culture, for the message, for, you know, my mama, for, I don't know. Like, do the people believe in why he's doing it, and do they support it?
Right. Excellent. I'm loving it.
So how much you getting ready to invest in the kid? What you about to do? A couple thousand, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? What are you thinking? Are you going to invest, or are you going to shop him to someone else?
Oh, for sure. No. I've already upgraded his home studio, and I'm willing to invest another couple thousand for him. Okay,
that's a good start. And what is your focus? Are you doing it? Are you chasing plays and fame, or are you chasing ROI?
What was the second one? Am I chasing what?
ROI, return on investment.
Oh, absolutely, return on my investment. But I really want to see his dreams come true. I believe in his vision. You know, I believe in what he wants to do.
So do it, man. I mean, honestly, you sound like you got a pure heart. You doing it for the right reasons, is what it sounds like, at least. How long you been working with the kid?
I've been working with him about 3 months now.
It's mad early to be making these types of commitments, but that's how it starts. So just keep building. You obviously got to get to know him, you know, because things can go left or right in the relationship. You got, you know, 3 months, you don't really know him. You don't know his flaws. You don't know his little weird, you know, demons that he may have. You don't know him yet. Right? And depending, like, is he a street artist? Is he, like, tell me about the artist. Tell me about the music.
He's an R&B artist. He's a straight R&B artist. He's very, very humble young man, God-fearing man. We have spiritual conversations all the time. He's just really, really quiet, down to earth. He just wants to make music. That's it. He's not flamboyant. He's not, in your face type of R&B. He's more, let my music speak. He's kind of like the boxer who don't do the talking. He do his talking in the ring. He does his talking on the record.
And do you feel like there's an audience for his music?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe there's a lane for him.
Have you tested it?
I believe it's a missing lane. No, I don't know how.
So this is what I say you should do for a test. Yeah, take this. This is what you should do as a test. You need to, what age group are you targeting with his music, just in general? Like, what is he targeting? Teenagers, 20s, 30s? What?
We could do from the teens to the millennials.
All right, so what you need to do is get a list somehow. And not even it can be an Instagram list. It could be an email list. Something I've told young dudes to do is, yo, you can't do it right now because COVID. But I used to tell cats, go to the mall, sing in the mall,
right,
and get email addresses and numbers and Instagrams and all this other type of stuff. Collect numbers. Like young cats used to come to me. I say, listen, you go to the mall, you come back with 300 numbers, 300 phone numbers and emails. You keep singing in the mall. You keep walking around till you get it. One, that shows me they hustle. Like, are you willing to go out there and hustle? 1, 2, are you scared to go out there and just bust out singing in the mall in front of random strangers? Are you built like that?
Right.
Like, that's like, people ain't built like that. How you gonna sing on front of the stage? You can't bust out and sing in the mall. Like, in the mall at any given time, it's like 50 people walking past you at best, maybe 10, 20, 30, right? How am I gonna put you on stage in front of 150? Tell them go to the mall, tell them go out there, sing to people, and you come back with 300 emails and numbers and this and the third, right? After that, you blast his single out to all those email addresses, all those phone numbers, right? And you see how people respond to it. See how many people listen to it twice, how many people listen to it once, how many people listen to it regularly. See how many people even pay attention, how many people open the message that he sent. Right? See how good of a salesperson he is, because he's what he is. He's an artist. He has to sell himself, right? And it gives you an idea of what your conversion rate could be to a warm audience, right? Because a cold audience is an audience that has no idea who the fuck you are. Warm audience, people kind of know who you are. They want to hear what you got, but they ain't fans, right? You send that thing to 300 people, figure out what percentage of people respond to the message. What percentage of people listen to it? What percentage of people listen to it twice? What percentage of people say they want more, communicate back, this, down, the third? Figure out the percentage. It gives you an idea of your conversion rate. You look at that conversion rate and say, man, out of 300 people, 30 people really engage with this kid. Your conversion rate is 10% on warm contacts. That's large. That's high. Right? If your conversion rate is, 5% or better, you kind of cool. Maybe you got something here. If your conversion rate is super high on a warm list, it's like, okay, maybe we really got something. Gives you an idea of what's going to happen in a cold audience. And that's granted, he's only talking to certain people at certain ages. He's only going to feel comfortable talking to certain people. You might find out he only talks to people in their 30s or people in their 40s or people in their 20s. Like, you'll find out who connects to him when he's out there. It's a real test. In my personal opinion, is real live test. Now, another way to do it is to, do a sponsorship ad and see how many people respond to the sponsorship. But people are responding to more than just the music. They're responding to the visual and the lighting and the editing. And they're responding to all sorts of things that are outside of the music. But that is a testament to how good your creative team is, right? Is your team, is your creative team, do they have the ability to create the type of content that makes people want to engage? The idea is engagement. How much engagement can you get? How many likes, how many comments, how many follows, how many conversations, how many people are interacting, how many people want to be involved? That's what you're trying to test, trying to measure. Because this kid could be dope to you, but the rest of the world may not agree. You might dump a bunch of money into him. You might realize maybe we shouldn't be dumping this money into the promotions. Maybe we should be dumping this money into making the music more appealing to his audience, because maybe the music isn't as appealing to his audience as you think it is. Because, if you've been around since Will Smith and Eve and this, that, and the third, then, this is a young kid. You say he targeting teenagers. There's already a disconnect in your ear and their ear. It's already there. Regardless of how hip you think you are, there's a disconnect, so you really don't know.
Right.
That's just me being 100. You about to put up money. I'm talking money. You about to put up money. You need to figure that shit out. You want to know now if he got work ethic before you make a whole album, promote the shit, do all sorts of type of shit. You don't even know if the nigga if the kid gonna go out there and work.
Right.
That's how I think. This is how I move. Not to crush the dream, but from a business perspective, how are you navigating the situation? But at the end of the day, after you figured out, you've done a test and figured out, what his numbers look like. That's just basic math, percentages. I'm pretty sure percentages and numbers. You can figure out, okay, this is something I want to invest in, or this is something we need to tweak a little bit before we invest in it. And then from there, it's what strategies do we want to take? Because we're targeting certain audiences and certain people. And if you spend your money targeting every single person, you're going to spend your money thin, you're going to go broke, and nothing's going to happen. So you got to figure out who's the niche audience that he talks to, who relates to him, who gives a fuck about what he's talking about. I ain't heard the music. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, only a certain group of people relate to love songs. Only a certain group of people relate to fuck songs. Only a certain group of people relate to, enlightenment music or gospel music or whatever. Per his age group, per who he's talking to, per his delivery, his style, his, structure, his mix, all these things that the audience is judging and doesn't understand. And you map out all these things and you figure out, how do I make the best possible product from this artist? And then go forward and figure out how we're going to do playlisting, how we're going to do blog and other media outlets, how we're going to do Instagram pages, YouTube pages, and other social media influencers, how we're going to, then you go from there. But it would be premature for you to go through those pathways. You're only dealing with the kid for a few months, and you don't even know if people rock with him.
Right.
Unless your ear just gold. You got that Rumpelstiltskin ear. You just spin anything in the gold over there. I don't know.
Got you.
So
that is good stuff. That is definitely good stuff.
Yeah, man, that's how I navigate. And from there, once you get feedback on the music, from the real audience, then you can determine what to fix, what to improve, and then where to go from there.
That sounds like a plan. I wrote down as much as I could, all the important stuff.
I hope so, man. It's going to come out. We're going to be dropping it on the channel, so just stay on the lookout. Like I said, you're on one of the earliest episodes. You're one of the first people to be on the podcast. So thank you, for the energy and the question and the vibes. But yeah, there's definitely, a change in the way the game is navigated from a marketing perspective.
Right.
But the business is the same shit. The publishing is the same. The marketing is the same. The snakes in the game is the same. All that other type of stuff is the same. So it's not like you got a lot to change, but you do got to come up. Like, there's a lot of learning you got to do in reference to streaming and how the money works and, where it goes and how to navigate and how licensing works in today's market versus how it used to work, and how do you spend your marketing dollars, radio versus playlisting, outdoor media, does it still have a place, flyers, do they still have a place, what's the effectiveness? Like, there's some things that you still gotta rock with, but the game never changes. The game is fundamentally the same. I wrote a marketing book that I still haven't released, that I need to freaking release, because the book's been written forever. I just haven't dropped it. I need to update it and just drop it. But what I talk about in that is that the game is the same. The medium changes. Like, at one point in time, MTV and VH1 controlled shit, and then it switched to World Star Hip Hop and live mixtapes and Dat Piff, and now it switched again to YouTube influencers and streaming playlists, and and it's gonna switch again. Like, no one will ever hold the game captive. It will always transition. It doesn't matter what the medium is. It's all about the heart of it, the strategy, the soul behind the process, and it doesn't matter what medium you're using. Like, okay, so it's TikTok. All right, how do we move with TikTok? Oh, the US just banned TikTok. What does that mean? We move to Instagram Reels. Well, how does Reels differ from TikTok, and how do I get paid from that? You got to figure out all of that, but the principles, the same principles that made Prince pop on MTV, are the same principles that'll make some kid pop today. I encourage everybody to become a member at phase6.com, PHASEVI.com. Come on over to the website, become a member, soak this game up, keep building your career. There's no other place like it online, in my opinion. Come to phase6.com, become a member, join up with the squad, and let's continue growing. So honestly, If you want to get your voice heard, if you want to get your question answered, send us a message, 404-442-4792.